Start with a dollar index. Okay, first, since we're also doing Forex, I'm going to start with Forex Factory because it's very important. Like on Friday, those that were with me on Discord, you will see I did not take any trade on Friday. I don't trade on weekends anyway. I don't trade on weekends and on Friday because we had a lot of I hope you can see this. Is it able to zoom in? Because we had a lot of news like high impact news. You can see a lot of red envelope. That just made me not to take a trade on Friday. I had a community member who actually took a trade on Friday and he lost. And I said it that see, and you mustn't trade every damn day. Okay? You shouldn't make profits during the week, then lose it all on the weekend because you try to force a trade. Yes, I did some analysis on crypto, but I didn't see trade. I didn't still trade then because um simply because the charts didn't align. So today being the 20, what's today is this? Today is 24th, right? So today being the 24th of November, we only have one high impact news. So here we have ECB President Lagarde speech. So the president's having a speech. So you might have, this is by 3:45 Nigerian time, West African time. You can look for the equivalent in your time. That is when we have the red high impact news. So I don't think it's going to have much effect, but just be just know what you're doing at that time. Now, if you look here, you see that all the Japanese yen JPY is the bank holiday. So if you're trading asset that has to do with Japanese yen, like I have two of them here in GBP, USD JPY, and GBP JPY. So these assets, this one is USD JPY, this also GBP JPY. So I might not bother myself with this asset because since um, in Japan they have the bank holiday, the asset might not really move. As a matter, it won't move. It's likely not to move. You see very choppy movement. So just don't waste your time looking at this chart. But I'm still going to do analysis on them anyway. So you see them. So with this, we are in the clear. We're in the clear. We can go ahead and conduct analysis. We're going to start with the dollar index. We don't necessarily need to do this, but sometimes you might want to start with the dollar index. It's totally fine. Now, if you look at this, um, I'm going to start from the weekly time frame, as you have always seen me done on the at the beginning of the week. From day to day, I start from 4 hours down, but at the beginning of the week, you see me go high as the weekly time frame. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing the dollar index. So it's been making market structure shift. So you can see this, a high, a low, and a high. So we are at this low. We have gone to this particular low. It seems to want to go up from here again. Okay, that is what we're seeing on the weekly. So with this, I want to step down to the 4 hour time frame. So okay, hold on. Back to the weekly. Let's zoom into this particular zone and see what we have here. Don't bother yourself with all this line I drew. As a matter of fact, I'm going to remove them. So I want to be as fast as I can so that I can cover everything I need to cover. So last week I drew an upper boundary, which is this one, and a lower boundary. So I'm going to put this one to this point. This one here are not really in, they're actually been taken, so not really important. So for my weekly range, I'm looking at this low because when the weekly, each candle here represents what happened in a week. I'm looking at this low as my weekly range, and the high, let me close this. I'm still maintaining it. We're actually very close to the high. So I think I can go. Here is not an ideal place to put a high. Is this top? So, but maybe I'm going to go to the daily to see if I can see clarity in where I'm placing the high. So this gives me a bit of clarity. Looking at this top for this high. Okay, so weekly range is here. So I'm just looking for trades. I'm looking for this week. I'm looking for market movement within this range, right? Within this range. That's what we're looking for, movement in. Now we're going to go down to the 4 hours. Okay, see on the daily, we can start observing market structure here on the daily by going to here. What can we observe? Okay, one is I can draw a demand zone here. This candle is my demand zone. It's a daily demand zone. So I can just simply go ahead and label it daily demand zone. Okay, now if you watch here, we had a movement, break of structure, retracement, break of structure, retracement. So I'm expecting another break of structure. What we have here is not yet a break of structure. So I'm expecting a break of structure here. Then we can have a retracement and maybe go higher, trying to target this particular line we see here, this point. Trying to ultimately target this point. Hope that makes sense. So that is where we are. All right, so that is on the daily. We can now go down to the 4 hours now and see how we're taking it step by step. 4 hours. This is our daily demand zone. We can see that um, daily demand zone. I'm going to leave it as this. Then over here is where we should be concerned with. Now, ideally, I'm expecting a movement upward. So we'll have a proper break of structure. Then we can now move down to here. And we can now move upward here. But you can see we're having a consolidation in this region. The whole of this now is a consolidation. It's moving sideways. It's moving sideways. So are we going to see an opportunity to move higher? So are we going to see opportunity to move higher? Or are we just going to go ahead and come lower here? This the state we have here right now. I've not seen, I want to see a push higher to give me a confirmation that this is going to go higher. But either ways, you will just react to what the market is doing. Again, right here is just a simple consolidation. Again, what I want to see here is this. It's a consolidation. So what I really want to see is, again, movement this way, break structure, then now come down to this zone. That is what I want to see here. But either ways, this is not a clear direction on what is happening on euro, on JPY, on the dollar index rather. But I can draw some things here anyway. So I can draw a zone here. This is a supply zone. Sorry, this is a demand zone rather. It's a demand zone. We didn't have a proper break of structure, but this is a zone we can actually go down and look at. So what can we see here? Again, I'm still looking forward to seeing here broken. So I can look for like a confirmation entry I can look for confirmation um, to see this go up here. This will be what I'll be looking at with regards to this trade. Since when the demand zone, can we get a confirmation to go higher? Then after going higher, we can now go lower. So knowing this, we're going to come down to Euro USD and try to apply the same thing that you see here. So I should have a confirmation to see Euro USD to go down, then now go up. Since we're seeing the dollar index going up first and then going down. So again, somebody's asking which pair. This is just the dollar index. Okay. With this, we can now make our think we have more like a clear definition of what we should expect in Euro USD. Since Euro USD is more or less a a mirror of the dollar index, and inversely correlates with the dollar index. So you see movement upward and downward. So as you see movement downwards further, then upwards. Okay, so now let's start from the with the dollar index with the with the Euro USD now. Euro USD on the weekly. I'm gonna go ahead and close some things. So if you look at the weekly, it's a fair value that has been here for a very long time. Okay, and if you look at this, um, this is a region we have been wanting to get to this region to probably go down from here. Okay, on the Euro USD, that is the region I've been looking at. So how do we get there? Again, every candle here represents what happened in a week. So what I want to do now is to choose a weekly range. Let me close all this stuff, all this last week analysis. So I'm just going to go down to the daily time frame. We don't need to waste time here. So this has been the region. This region has been the region because we had a breakout structure here. It has been the region we've been expecting this chart to go to. So we can go up this way. Okay. So a downward movement and an upward movement. This zone, then upward movement. Now let's go down to 4 hours to start making sense of this. So 4 hours time frame. Yeah, this is where I'm targeting here. This region down here. There's also a region up here. This one is also a region up here. So these are the places we can see this market go to. So we can go target here. We can target here. So this is more like the whole of this. This movement from here to here is where we are looking at to have movements this week. Okay, to look for trading opportunities this week. So we're on the 4 hours now. It's on the 4 hours we start forming um, our trade idea. If you watch this, so here we have something here. What is it called? It's called a breakout structure because the market moved down and we had that breakout structure. Then we had a retracement upwards. So I expect this thing to keep going down to get to this region. In other words, I'm looking forward to see how to trade this lower, to this point before moving on from here. All right. So with this in mind, we can now start looking for supply and demand zone we can trade from. Okay, so this is the 4 hours. I want to start working out the supply zone. This is supply zone above here. These are possible areas the market can trade from. So what does this mean? It means that the trade can go up here and come down here. That is the only zone that I'm seeing. But we are actually in this we are in a demand zone area, which is this one. Okay, so we trade from demand zone to demand to supply, supply to demand, and see the one that is broken. Okay, so possible movement is that we'll move up, tap into the zone, and we'll move down, or we can just move down from where we are to go down lower. These are the possible movements. Now we're going to go down lower now to the 1 hour time frame to see what is happening. Okay, so again, if you look here, we are having another supply zone here. That tells me that I can also go this way, like to this particular zone, and go down. I mustn't get to, we must not get to, mustn't get to this top. We can go down from here. And here, we don't really have a break or structure. It's a liquidity sweep. So this like start forming my decisions. Now, because I don't have a sweep here, because it's what I have here is not a break or structure, it's a sweep. And I believe you know what a sweep and break or structure is. What we have here is a sweep. Because we have a sweep here and not a break or structure, I won't be considering the movement downwards from here. Okay, this I will not really be considering this one. I'll be looking more to seeing this one play out. So I can now refine this one better on this time frame. So this is a better way to look at it. Okay, so for a swing trade perspective, this is what I would trade. Short position from here, from this top, this one, target this high, and can go all the way down. So this will be my plan for the week. This is 6.2529 risk reward ratio trade. This is a good enough trade for the week. So I'm gonna remove this. So possible trade. Okay. Let's go down more now to 30 minutes time frame. Let's see if we can refine further. So on the 30 minutes, we are still good here. We're still good. Now I can check now on the 30 minutes. There's something you can see here. You can see that um are we having we're still having a sweep here, not a breakout structure. I would have really want to consider this movement downwards because this is a possible movement from here. Especially you can see that in this time frame, I start having my moving average come out. Okay, this is a possible move, very very possible move. But the thing is that because I'm not seeing um, a breakout structure here, that's why I'm not considering this now. But it doesn't mean it won't happen. It cannot happen. So we might have a movement this way and down, but I'm not going to take it, right? I don't want to take it because it doesn't meet all my criteria. But if we now have another break, if we now have a break or structure after this movement here, then I'll be looking forward to take the retracement to take it down. Hope you get me. So if we this movement occurs this way and we have a break this way here, okay, then I'll be looking to take this trade from here to target this bottom. If not, this is the trade I want to take. Now, so let me try to make you get this so it's clear. One is I'm prioritizing this particular movement. That is this movement from here to here to enter around here and go all the way down. That is what I'm prioritizing. But I'm saying that, trading is a game of probability. It might not happen. We might have this one obeyed. We might have this one obeyed and go down. Now, the reason why I'm not going to take this one is because I'm expecting a break of structure here. All we have here is a liquidity sweep. Okay, yes, we are going shorts. Is a liquidity sweep. Because of that, it's not giving me confidence, even though I'm having confirmation from the moving average. So if this happens here and retrace, I can wait for it. If it retraces downwards, then when it comes up again after a break of structure, this is where I will not enter the trade because I have confirmation that yes, we can go down and I will take this trade down here. Short position. Okay. Now, if let's say that this one doesn't happen, but we have a top here. This is the top of this trade. If this trade comes this way and breaks into this top, it's going to retrace to go up. So I'll take this trade, okay, to go up and take this one to go down. That is basically my analysis for Euro USD. So I'm going to go straight to 15 minutes to see if there's any other thing I can refine. Okay, on the 15 minutes, you will see that we can actually refine this thing further. So this one I can refine to this point, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to just refine it to this point, which means that I can also refine my entry up to this point. So it was here before. So up to this point is giving me even a better risk reward. And here, this is showing us a break of structure here. So this is still a possible trade to take. It's still a very possible trade. Any refinement possible? 30 minutes. No refinement. 15 minutes. No refinement. 10 minutes. Okay, so possible trade 1, possible trade 2. This one is really close to where we are. So I don't want to show you this, but this is a possible dynamic trade to take now. Just don't bother with it. I won't show this one here. There's a way to trade this one up to this point. So let's not show here. Okay, so Euro USD, spent a lot of time analyzing it. Let's go to GBP USD. So this was my analysis last week. I didn't take this one because of this news. Because what the news did, I did actually take two of them, but both of them went really really well. But again, I didn't take them because of the news. So let's start from the weekly time frame again, and we'll do analysis down to the 15 minutes time frame where we look for a trade. So on the weekly for GBP USD, we can also see what is happening. Okay, over here we have a fair value gap. That's what we have down here. So I'm expecting that this retracement here will lead us to this movement over here. Okay, that's what I'm looking forward to for GBP USD. Then from here, we can now go down. Okay, so this will take this movement are a year's worth of movements. or 2 years kind of movement. But anyways, let's go down to what we have. I'm going to close all this to give you a clean sheet. Um, this low, we'll remove it. Okay, so I'm going to just go down to the daily time frame to make it clear. So here, what do we have? A break or structure here, a very big one. So movement is upward movement and downward movement, right? And to move up to wherever, to wherever. Hope you get it. I want to trade higher, trade this higher to this point. Hope that makes sense. If you look at here, you will see that we are already having a break of structure. I mean, a demand zone. This demand zone here is what was tapped into. All right. Again, movement upward and downward. It's what I want to. So I want to see. And let's go to the 4-hour time frame to see how we can trade this. So again, our orientation is to move upward. So how can we get positions here to take this trade even higher? To do that, we're going to start looking for zones like demand zone below here to trade higher. On the 4 hours, you can't see any demand zone here. I can't see any demand zone here. So I'm going to go straight to the 1-hour time frame. So in the 1 hour, we can start seeing zones. This is a very it's minor. It's, let me see, is it taking? So this zone, I'm just gonna go ahead and close this big one here. So this zone is a demand zone. It has a very tiny fair value gap. Okay. So if you look at this, I'm looking at this high, this high. This high. Excuse me. That's Euro USD. This is not directly correlating with Euro USD. So this is high. That's what I'm looking at actually. Okay. That's what I'm looking at because I want to see this break over here. If this break or occurs here, then I'm looking forward to seeing um, to going higher, taking a long position from this particular zone. But I want to refine this further by going to 30 minutes to see if it's something that is workable. Okay, on the 30 minutes, I want to refine down to this zone. Refine this one down to this zone. If you're not following along at any time, you can let me know in the comment section. Because right now I'm just doing my normal analysis. Okay. So this is what I expect. I'm going to reiterate it again. I want a movement above this way, break into the zone, and downwards and move higher. 30 minutes now, or 15 minutes rather now. So 15 minutes, I want to see if I can refine further as well. We can take this down a notch to this zone. Don't refine here. This is my trade. This is what I was looking forward to for um, GU. GU. But this trade is going to, if this is coming down, it's going to have a lot of trading opportunities here to come down. Okay, so this might take a long time to happen. Might be trading opportunities that's going to occur here. But on the long time frame, this is what I am. For a swing trade perspective, this is where I will likely to get trade from to take this higher when this occurs. Okay, because the way it seems here, we can start looking for opportunities to actually trade this lower, to take this thing much lower. So UJ, this was analysis we did on Discord. It's a short trade, but it was a good trade. And this goes at 3 hour. Like I said that we're having bank holidays, right, for Japanese yen. So we might not see a movement, but I'm still going to go ahead and do the analysis, even though I might not take any trade on this particular asset today. So starting on the weekly time frame, for those waiting for crypto trade, we'll get there soon. Just going to make this one faster. We had a crazy rally last week for UJ. Dollar keep was getting crazy value against Japanese yen. Okay, so I think he's going to keep rallying because this is the top we're looking at now. I'm looking at seeing this top taking out. Then maybe retracement and we go high. That is the simple thing I'm looking at on this particular weekly time frame. With that, we can get straight to the daily time frame to see where are we going to. We are still rallying, and if you look at here, we are taking some of the other blocks. Like this one wasn't taking. This um this demand zone was not taking. This one, this is the one again that is open here. So therefore, I'm going to put my this rectangle and mark out that particular demand zone rather. So again, possible movement is this is possible movement. So with this, go straight. Okay, for 4 hour time frame, can we refine? We can refine this up to this level. All right. So possible movement is this movement here. Okay. Now, if you look at this, we can also see a zone here, which is a supply zone. So this tells me that I can see a movement this way, downwards and upwards. Then with this, let's go to the 1 hour to see the possibilities of having this. Okay. Now, if you look at the 1 hour, you can see that we are coming from this zone here. This is also a demand zone, right? We're coming from this zone and moving higher. There's a possibility move down from here. So what are we looking at forward to is this um is still looking at this other one, and this is still also a demand zone. So the movement is movement from here, but when we get here, I don't think I want to take a risk entry trade here. Let me tell you what I mean. So from here, movement upward, I want to see a confirmation entry now. That's what I would trade to take this one lower. So this is simply the trade, what I'm simply seeing here. So this is actually a good place to take a trade. This trade from right away from it. From now is not a bad trade now, even though I said that I wouldn't trade Japanese yen because they are on bank holiday. But on a normal day, this is simply a trade I will take here, and my target is here. Okay, this is not a trade I will take. The reason I won't take this trade because it doesn't meet my risk reward criteria. So this is giving me a risk reward of 1.84, and I take, if the trade doesn't give me a risk reward of up to 3, I don't take it. But this is the plan. And so what I'll now look for, what I'll now wait for is a confirmation entry here. If I say confirmation entry, then I'll look for it to take it, to take this trade lower. I'll look for a way to take this trade lower. So this is what a confirmation entry is, basically. It gives me a better risk reward. So that is that for UJ. Now let's look at GJ. GJ, um, this is what I drew last week. We didn't enter here, but this one is one that worked. So let's just close it all and start again. Weekly time frame again. What can we see? We see a very strong bullish movement. I don't think it's the pounds or the US dollar that is moving up. Okay, somebody for the crypto channel, somebody is dropping something. Daryl for real. So there's somebody who can chat up in that board if you have any issues. It's Pato on Telegram. So just chat him up. Or you can also chat me up on Telegram. Let me see if I can set that for you. My Telegram handle is Jude World, at Jude World. So just chat me up. Let me see if I can sort that out for you. Okay. I'm replying to the comments. So it's just that the Japanese yen have been falling, so that's what we've been seeing this one rallying up. Now, this has been taken. So currently, I'm just going to move straight to the daily time frame to see. Okay, what is the time? 7:22. It's almost an hour. Four-hour time frame. Okay, so we have spent, this is almost an hour since we started, and I'm just going to leave GJ and just go straight to analyzing Bitcoin and Ethereum because of time. Because of time, I might come back to this later. Okay, for Bitcoin, we had a very sweet trade last week. Okay, if you watch me, I've been saying that we're going to go down to 85 level. If you watch my previous lives, and let me start from the weekly, and you can see that we did hit that particular zone. We did hit that zone, the zone I've been looking for us hitting, because I believe that we needed to hit this zone so we can have a healthy movement upward. That doesn't mean we can come lower. We can even still come lower to hit this particular zone here. It's another zone here. This is more like the final defender we can still hit this zone. That is the 70 level to go higher. I don't see us coming down, to 40. It will be surprising if you see Bitcoin at 47 again. I don't see us coming down there. But if you come up to 70, it's not going to surprise me. It's going to surprise me. So let's see. So yeah, we hit that 80 level I was talking about, and I shorted the Bitcoin to get to that level. I had an amazing trading last week. Let's look at daily time frame now to see where we are. I'm going to bring back that stuff I deleted now. Okay. So let's look at where we are. Delete some of these things that are not relevant to me right now. So daily time frame. Okay. So we're in this region. Now, on Discord, I said I'm expecting some form of consolidation here before we finally move up. But it seems we are just going to move up without having some kind of accumulation at this point. I'm going to go down to the 4 hours time frame to go deeper into that zone. Let's delete some of these things. Okay, so there's still possibility we go deeper. If you look at this side, um, I'm just going to refine this. Okay, this particular zone, I'm going to bring it down. I'll bring it down to here. So we'll have, this is the last demand zone we have here. Now that this particular demand zone actually starts from here. Actually starts from here. Okay, because of the fair value gap we have here. So I won't be surprised to see Bitcoin go further down and hit 80 or even hit $78,000 before moving up. So going back here, what this tells me now is this. So we had this breakout structure here. Here, if you can see this, we have another break here. Then what led to this break is this zone, this supply zone. I'm going to take it all the way up. This supply zone is what led to the break we're having here. So what does this tell me? This tells me that we can have another short opportunity from here. Okay, I target this high to target this particular up to this down. Does that make sense? Because this is going to be a swing trade. This might take weeks to happen, or days rather, because we are on the 4-hour time frame. Supply zone, efficient movement more or less up, and possible shorts from here, from this point. So that said, we're going to move down to the 1-hour time frame. The 1 hour is saying where we can refine, but I'm just going to leave it. refined. Okay, yeah, we're still fine. We're still fine. There's nothing to refine here. Now, opportunities now is that we can trade this higher. We can take long position to take it higher. Okay. Now, if you look at this, we see a swing point here. Can you see the swing point? I'm going to show you. This is a swing point here. Is this swing point, this particular point, no, this particular swing point here is what led to this long break. So I want to see it taken out, then we can retrace to go higher. Does that make sense? So if it's taken out, then we can go lower to see other zones. Like this is a zone, right? So what do I mean? So I'm looking for a forward to see this taken out, and a retracement movement upward there. Now, if you look at this bottom here, we still have this demand zone. Okay, so again, you can see we are trading down here, but here we want to trade upward here. Now there are two ways I can do this. I can choose to let me just go to 30 minutes time frame and refine further and have further refinements. All these are efficient. So possible. So see for this, because of the it's not clear here, this is what I would expect. I want to show you. Expecting this, then I want to see price action here. Okay, then that's when I'll take my entry. I will not take a risk entry here. I'm going to take a confirmation entry from this particular point. So this 30 minutes, you can see that clearly that we are heading to this point. We are looking to retrace to this point to take that particular trade. But we're not done. We're still here. I want to go down to the 15 to 5 minutes time frame. Okay, and this sort of confirms it. It sort of confirms this. So which trade can we take here? There's going to be a risk. So I'm tempted to show you this. That is a trade that we can take right away. Take a long position from here. This is a possible trade. Okay, possible trade. And we go, target this high. But I'm going to tell you the reason why I can't take this trade. The target is high. The reason why this trade can be taken is because this is the last high here. This is the last high here. Okay, this high has not been taken out. So because of that, this trade is not what I would take. So again, for Bitcoin, there is no clear trade for me to take now. I still have to wait to get more information before I can take a trade. So don't take this one, please. We need more information to take this particular trade. The information here is not enough. Sometimes, some days you see some days you see it's very clear to just take the trade. But some days you will not see it, so you just leave it, till it's clear. I always say this: it's better to take one trade a week than taking multiple trades and losing a lot of them. Okay, it's always better to have a system and just follow that system Sometimes you might not take trade, it might go your way, and next time you'll be tempted to take it. But if it doesn't align with your system, just stay away from it. That is how you become um, profitable long term. So Ethereum also gave me a lot of profit last week. It was crazy. I've forgotten where I took my trade from, but man, we hit went massive. If you've been watching, this is the yellow line I've been targeting since, and this is our line. So Ethereum went all the way, took out this yellow line, and came all the way, and we tapped into this particular place. So now it was a massive. I think I made one of my trade was a 14 hour. In other words, 14x trade on Ethereum last week. So this week, I'm simply going to look for the same thing to see. So let's start from the weekly again. Start from the weekly. So Ethereum, I was looking at this yellow line. Okay. I was like, if we get to this yellow line, nothing should stop us. This yellow line is the Fibonacci level, actually. So I don't think I drew it arbitrarily. It's a Fibonacci. I feel like if we get here, nothing should stop us from going higher. Maybe this time we're going to head to the $6,000 level for Ethereum. So I'm still bullish on crypto. This is the much needed retracement that we need to have, and we've had it. So this is the zone we are in. We still have a demand zone below here. Okay, I don't think we're going to get to this demand zone here. I don't think, but in case Ethereum falls again, this is the level. But I think this one is great enough. Hold on, let me check my Fibonacci again. Fibonacci retracement. You see how I got that level? We can still push a little bit lower between at to 705 before we go higher. We can still push a little bit lower, but ultimately this is a region. Let me mark it out. This, you see this black candle here is a region. This is the region I expect Ethereum to start going, hitting higher again. But where it is right now, we can actually still push a little bit lower. Let's go to the daily time frame to see if the point where we can go lower from. So like I said, the whole of this region, we can still push lower from the whole of this region. And if I choose to refine this, this is a next demand zone here. And if you look, this is relatively equal lows. Okay. If you see relatively equal lows, it's called liquidity. It's called liquidity. Why is it liquidity? Because some people that trade up support and resistance will say, okay, this is support or this is resistance, and they place a lot of their orders here. But we know better. We know this to be liquidity, which means that it's very likely that this one now you see here doesn't hold, that we see this move lower, break this, tap into this, and will not go higher from here. If you fail, then this is where I expect to hold. But ultimately, I think this is going to hold this 2000, between 2000 and 2300 to 2100. I think this is going to hold. So this is an entry we're looking for. And of course, it's not as if when the charts come here, we enter. We still want to see structure start breaking. We still want to see structure start breaking to the upside for us to take this trade. But this liquidity here just shows me that it's even okay. It's pretty okay to take a long position from here. I'll be confident to take a long position from here. Why? Because of the liquidity we're having here. Take it high. But this is a daily time frame, right? So of course, you will not trade on the daily time frame. You want to go lower to trade on the lower time frame. This is possibly next year stuff. But this just shows me that yes, there's possibility we keep going lower. Crypto keeps falling more. Okay. So 4 hour time frame now. 4 hours time frame. So no, so with this new information I have now, okay, let's look. So if you look at here, let's see where this stops. This zone here stops here. Let's see where it stops. It taps into this zone, which is fine. It's a demand zone. Then if you look at this, where is it? If you look at this one here, it is safe to call this a breakout structure. Okay, I'm going to remove this one now. So what does this tell me? It tells me that one, we can actually go as high to this zone. Okay, this one. Another one is this one here. These are supply zones. This just simply tells me that two things can happen. I'm going to show you another one before we get to that. This one too is an internal breakout structure. Yeah, let's call it a BOS. What it's telling me is that one, we can see a retracement from this zone. We get here, we go lower from here. Or we break this one and we retrace from this zone. Okay, so we can go down from here, we can go down from here. This is what this one is telling me. So let's go down to the 1 hour now. 1 hour time frame. So 1 hour. Now, I still can go down from here, okay? Which means that we'll have to get here first, right? So we can start looking for trading opportunities to trade higher. If you look here, it is similar to what we saw in Bitcoin because below here is a demand zone. All right, here, I like to cover the bottom. Below here is a demand zone. Then this one has been taken. So this tells me that, okay, my possible entry for a swing trade is to go long on Ethereum from this particular point. Okay, I can take this low or I can wait to go down to refine further and target this particular high. This for this 1 hour, this is a 5 hour trade. This trade might take like a whole week to play out, but it's still a good trade to take. This particular one is a trade that I would take. Okay, because um we are in efficient zone, so I'll be expecting to see this move towards this zone and move higher. Then when we get here, I'll start looking for trade opportunity to trade lower, depending on what the chart tells me here. With this, I can go down to 30 minutes time frame now. 30 minutes time frame. Nothing for me has changed here. So what I'm looking for here on the 30 minutes is the possibility that this is actually the one that is taken. Is the possibility that this is what will happen. We'll have a long position from here. Okay. This is a possibility. It's still the same 5 hour. That is what I'm looking at. Um, we could see this happen. We could also see this sticking out, and we'll see this particular one happen. So I'm looking for possibilities why I should take this and leave this. I'm looking for possibilities. This is liquidity, and this liquidity has been taken by this one. Yesterday gap. So we're looking at this. I will consider taking these two trades. So if this one fails, then this one I will take. So this one is a possible trade. This one is also a possible trade, but this one might fail, and this one might hold, and this one might just hold, and we don't need this one. So this is possibility for Ethereum. And with this, I'm just going to end this live here. We'll still have BNB and XRP, and I didn't really go into JPP. So I think next time I won't start with dollar index. I'll just start from Euro, USD, and we'll just treat. Just go. Maybe I'll start analyzing 4 assets instead of 5. 2 crypto, 2 Forex. Okay? So this can be much faster. But right now, I have to end this particular live. Okay, right now I have to end this particular live. Let's have a very profitable trading week. I'll see you guys. For those on the Discord, see you tomorrow here on YouTube and Twitter. I'll see you guys next week. I'm also planning to start holding these lives in the afternoon on Thursday or Wednesday. So that will come later, but not right now. That decision will be passed across to you guys, or the information will pass across to you guys later. So bye everyone. Jesus.